All right, so the next one here, South Korea's new president to seek talks with North. So this is good news here. So South Korea has elected a new president after months of political turmoil sparked by former President Yoon-suk-yeol's declaration of martial law in December 2024, which led to his impeachment. South Koreans went to the polls on Tuesday and elected Lee Jae-myung of the Democratic Party, who officially started his term early Wednesday morning. The Democratic Party's victory over Kim Moon-soo, the candidate representing Yoon's People Power Party, was seen as a reckoning for the martial law declaration. Lee won the vote by a pretty good margin. He got 51.7%, and Kim trailed behind with 39.3%. And in a victory speech to his supporters, Lee vowed to seek talks with North Korea, which is a break from his predecessor's approach that provides President Trump with an opportunity to revisit diplomacy with Pyongyang that he pursued in his first term. So this is what Lee said to his supporters, quote, "I will work to build a peaceful and stable Korean peninsula where coexistence is possible, while firmly exercising deterrence against the North through strong national defense. I believe it is better to win without fighting than to win through fighting, and better still to create a peace where fighting isn't necessary at all. With this conviction, I will pursue dialogue, communication, and coexistence with the North, working together to find a path toward mutual cooperation and shared prosperity," end quote. So this is a big break from Yoon. And that was why, if you remember, I didn't cover the whole Yoon situation much. I covered the initial martial law declaration and how that went down. But if I remember saying, it could be good for the chances of peace on the Korean Peninsula, because I figured his opposition would win the next election, and they are pro, engagement with North Korea. And that seems to be what's happened here. So when Yoon came into office in 2022, he vowed to take a harder line on North Korea, and tensions soared over the following years as the U.S. and South Korea restarted major war games that were suspended under the first Trump administration. And we saw North Korea fire a lot of missiles and everything. And President Biden oversaw very significant U.S. provocations on the Korean Peninsula, including the U.S. deployment of a nuclear-armed submarine to South Korea for the first time since 1981. Huge provocation. He sent nukes to South Korea. And that, the thing about nuclear-armed submarines that the U.S. has is that they could be anywhere in the world. Their missiles are very long range. So if they want to nuke you with one, they could do it from anywhere. But so the whole point of this was to just say, look at our nukes. I mean, that's really provocative. So all this stuff happened. Lots of U.S. bombers flying over there. So tensions, have gotten very high. It seems like it's been a little quiet lately, but there's been no talks between the North and the South, and you've seen a lot of heated rhetoric from the North. But I think there's a real opportunity here for Trump to revisit, his diplomacy with Kim Jong-un. If you remember, during his first term, he met with him 3 separate times, 2 summits, one in Singapore, one in Hanoi in Vietnam, and then he flew to the DMZ and shook hands with Kim there, which I thought was just a great moment. So I think this is a really easy potential diplomatic win for Trump to pursue. Hopefully he does it. The factor that might prevent it is the fact that things have really ramped up with China, and all the China hawks are going to say, well, all these deployments, all our military presence in South Korea, now it's really about China. And so we want to keep a heavy military presence, do these war games to flex our muscles more at China now. So I could see the China hawks trying to convince him, talk him out of it. But hopefully he pursues this. I really think there's just an easy opportunity here to do something big and something good.